Good morning, everybody. It is 6:15 in the morning, and Miss Chief is ready, up, dressed, fed, and outside hunting, meowing at me to say, "Let me out." I think she came in last night about 7:30. She'd been out there majority of the day and was exhausted. She'd come in for cat naps and everything, but she absolutely loves just being outside the door, which is easy for me, obviously. And as you see from today's vlog, when it goes out, that we just had a little walk around through the grass and everything. My ankles are hurting me again, and that's going to be part of going forward and my walking and my weight and everything. But at least I'm out and moving. I've got to try and make sure I don't, just put her outside the door like this, and I actually go for a walk as well. But she enjoyed going down the path and through the field and that. But she's enjoying just sitting and watching and hunting. A few more people came yesterday. Wasn't too bad at all. A lot more last night. I think we had a lot of runners going up over the hills late and cyclists going past late. And even though this car park had been shut, it opened again. But nothing too drastic, so I think we're okay. We're not going to be disturbed too much. We're going to have tourists and that going past, but we can manage. We're fine. Yeah. I have done my brainstorming regarding the vehicle, and a quick update on that. What I obviously need, my priorities for a vehicle are that I can stand up in it, are that I can get a decent bed in it to sleep, and a loo bucket. Obviously front seat and passenger seat is fine for me and a cat, so and they were just adapt to living in that space. So that means that limits me to a van or a minibus again. It doesn't matter if it's short wheelbase or anything like that, because obviously as long as I get my bed and my cooking pot in and obviously the longer the better. But I cannot have anything that's worth more than £2,000, which means I can't get a camper van. I'll be lucky to get a van, especially to find something that's mechanically soundish, so I don't have to sort of invest too much money in it. So if Grace goes, this is a big if, and I'll explain that in a minute, then I'll probably be looking to get another Destiny, another minibus, and that allow me to have the windows that I like to see out, as the cat would like to see out, and I would probably do it out the same as before, so I have the side bed and open doors and get things in. I don't know yet. I might do a bed across the back with the old way of doing things and have a high cat bed or something, but it will not be prioritised on the cat this time. It'd be prioritised on getting me out to where I need to be. If that just means I just got to get a van and chuck a mattress on the floor, not worry about installation or anything like that, because obviously we're not going to probably have funds for that. I'm just going to go back to basics, and I'm happy with that, rather that than be stuck inside and not be able to go anywhere. So that will be purchased, if I can find one, and if I get a cash sale on Grace, obviously I have to sort of take the things out of it, some sodas and batteries and bits out of it to put in the next vehicle. Now, obviously going forward, I've still got to do some meets with Grace, and that's fine if I've got somewhere to park it. It's nice to know I can come to the peaks and get some countryside. That was the thing I was worried about. I was worried I couldn't get Grace anywhere that I could just get that countryside and make do for now. So the fact that we are here, and at the moment there's no restrictions, that I can actually get out and about, and obviously I would test to see if I have the parking space up in North Yorkshire when I do the memorial trip. If that goes well, then obviously I've got to find small places to park her. But it means me going out and being on the road for like a week or two at a time, and obviously going back to property to ensure that I show that I'm still there. Then what I will need if I keep Grace, is a little moped in the back, which will allow me to ride round like Coniston Lake and get to places that I cannot get to if I just kept Grace. Now, obviously, keeping Grace is going to be also down to her MOT, which has always been the scenario come November. If come November and I still have her, which ideally I suppose is the right situation to do, because it's nice to have all the space and that. When her MOT is due, if her MOT is doable, great, we keep her, get a moped, and make do that way for the year. So at least I'm limited, but I'm not restricted by where I can go to get to where I need to get to. If she costs too much to get done, or I'm still struggling with driving her and parking her and that, then obviously she'll go and I will use her funds to buy something. So I've got to be able to find something in its place before I let her go, obviously. The nice way of doing that is because obviously August I'm going to spend doing the memorial trip, and the September Overlander show. I don't know where I'm going to be yet, whether I'm going to be in YouTubers or whether I'm going to be on display. If she's going to go, then that'd be the ideal place to put her up for sale or get interest and whatever, and see if I can gain in pennies from her there. And say, well, look, I've got to go back, I've got to also get the vehicle and so on and so forth, and allow somebody to buy her for parts, for export, or to have her my bit stripped out and do it properly, or have a cheap, nice make do start up for somebody, and let them carry on with that with her for a bit. Because she's a lovely starter vehicle. Yes, she's not perfect, and I'm not expecting lots back from her, but like I say, if I get my couple of grand to get the minibus and maybe a bit more to get the insurance sorted, then obviously great, that's what I need to do. Because obviously I need to get enough money to buy a vehicle and pay for years insurance. Tax I can probably do monthly, but I and that would probably be around the sort of £800 mark, like Destiny was. So really, I've got to raise sort of £2,500, £3,000 from Grace, which I would hope is doable. Even if I've got to sort of sell bits from from her and whatever. But she's obviously worth more to me than anybody else, but I don't know, I can't really put a price on her, and £32,000 is the price I'm looking at for a base Shell of Destiny. Now obviously her MOT is out in November. Like I say, if I take her down to the Overlander in September, she's got a couple of months MOT left on her. She may get some interest. I don't know. If she then fails MOT, or it's just way too much to do anything with her, then yeah, I'll just put her up for sale, get her gone, export whatever, and buy what I can. But obviously this is all ifs, buts and maybes. I don't really know what's going on. I do now be more comfortable with the vehicle. Now the vehicles I'm looking at, minibus, there are Varios available in that 2.5 bracket. Obviously it'd be starting from scratch, and I don't mind starting from scratch and just having that. I just need to have those wheels. So I've got my vehicle, and however long it takes to sort of do it up or whatever is irrelevant. But I think, as wonderful as Varios are, and that's my dream vehicle, going back to another minibus, seeing if it is, as long as it's got a high roof, I don't think it matters too much if it's not the extra long wheelbase that I want to, because I don't want to again restrict myself too much on parking. So Destiny was medium wheelbase. She suited me fine. Apart from the fact she was only medium height, so I need the high roof. So it's just, whatever's meant to be is meant to be. I'm also going to carry on trending on with Grace. I have no options at the moment. Unless somebody comes on and says, oh, I love her, I'll buy her, or I'll do something with her. And, then I can sort of start looking. But I trust her. I spent obviously a lot of money on her. But she's basically the hospital wagon for my cats. And like I say, she needs to see through this journey at the moment, which is obviously doing a memorial trip. Right now, I don't know if Miss Chief will survive, whether she's going to just be with me for another month or whether she's going to carry on for a while. We don't know that. That is obviously the big question mark as to whether, she's going to drop dead or not. Regarding if she's got virus, I'm hoping that it's not, but like I say, just got to enjoy each day, which is why she's dragging me to bed every morning and making the most of it. So I know that's a bit and ah. So yes, Grace is too big for me. We know that. I accept that. I want something smaller, but at the same time, if I've got to make do during this next year, then the only way I can do that is I haven't got the money for a little moped, but I'll have to carry on and sell all my bits and pieces. Obviously, I've got my log burner to sell. I've got small bits in a bungalow to sell. A painted drum or something. I might be raising the funds for a little moped. Now, the moped, I'm saying, mobility scooter, things like that. Anything electrical I can't do, so I don't have the power in Grace. I can't have something that needs charging. So e-scooters, e-bikes, anything like that, I don't have the power, enough solar or enough power to charge that. So they're out of the question. So the only way around that is to have a little petrol moped or motorbike, something that has a top box on, so I can go to the shops, do what I need to do, have a little sort of scoot around, areas just so I can escape. And it's something simple and also light enough to get in and out of the back of Grace. That then means I continue with Grace. The ramp going up and down gets the bike in the back. And that's me done till November at least, and then maybe the next year. And I can just enjoy why we bought Grace. Now, we bought Grace obviously for the space for the cats, so it's not why I bought her. And it's pointless having such a big vehicle if I'm not using the whole space for the cats. I'm only living in the bedsit area. Yes, I can sit on this desk and do painting and whatever, but I could set my desk up in the back quite easily. So I'm actually living in the bedsit space, which is basically the space in the van. And all this is obviously extra and surplus. I mean, even the cat flat box, bless her, that was Bentley's box, so that's not going to be used anymore now. Because nobody, Mischief goes in and out the door. I mean, Bentley started going in and out the door, but this can all be stripped out and made to whatever anybody wants. Obviously, after the vandalism, that the ignition's back in. We've got a few sort of wires sort of on showing that, but she's working fine. Yes, we've got the issue of it's you can't get to the end jump, but you don't need to. She's been doing great. Yes, I've got to put this perspex window. It's been raining again overnight. But all those sort of things that is simple for anybody who's capable for just something to start you off or to enjoy. And obviously it'd be great for even a family to actually enjoy and get all the back done out with bunk beds and shower and God knows whatever. I mean, driving wise, she's doing great. I'm just scared. I find it difficult going up and down the hills. I'm accused behind me yesterday. Whatever day I was coming here, I was doing like 30 miles an hour down the hills with the brakes on, and she's not got much power behind her when you're going up the hills, but it's just big, and because she's on springs, it's just so wobbly as well. So you're doing this over every little bump, and it's like driving a tractor everywhere. And I'm scared. I have this huge fear myself of brakes going, and I don't like going fast down hills. And with this, it's even more scarier to have a big vehicle going out of control in my mind. So it's all psychological. It's not that anything wrong with Grace at all. It's just me. And that just puts the fear of death into me for driving her. I'm capable of driving her, don't get me wrong. She's easy to drive. She's you know, beautiful drive. I don't have a problem driving her. But I need something smaller or something that's like more solid to the ground, not so bouncy. I mean, I even thought maybe going for the Luton or something like that, but I'm gonna have the same issue with the wind and maybe give a bit more square space, as they say. But it's still gonna, I think, restrict me going into the smaller spaces and down the green lanes and things I want to do, and places I really, the more the wilderness places I like to sort of get off to. So yeah, I don't really know what's going on. I know I'm waffling on. Obviously, this vlog's going on for a while again. So brainstorming wise, yes, eventually Grace has got to go. Opportunity of that would be down to I need the funds from her to get something else. So if nobody wants her, or she doesn't pass the MOT, then, or I can't afford to get her through the MOT, then obviously that may be an issue. Now, if she fails MOT, I can't use her anymore, then I will be quite prepared to move back into the bungalow until I can at least then start with a little £250 car. Actually, my mate's actually been offered me a car in case it gets to that scenario, in case I need some sort of transport, and Grace is completely done in. So I appreciate that, but obviously that doesn't allow me to carry, well, blue buckets or anything like that, so it's difficult, but at least get me not be stuck in the bungalow, which obviously would completely kill me. So yeah, it's all ifs, buts and maybes. Like I said, at least here, even getting here, like I say, was a bit of a palaver. And this is not really up and down hills, and the hills are places I want to go. I need to keep Grace to go to North Yorkshire to do the memorial trip, like I say, to see that through. And so all through August, I'll be living her and enjoying her walking and everything else like that. Whether Mischief's going to be alive or not at that point, I don't know. But if she is, then that's Grace. I need Grace for that. I need Grace for the Overlander. I need Grace for North Yorkshire. And before that, obviously, we've got Van Life Fest I'll be going to, and which people can obviously just see if she wants to then. I don't want to let her go at that point, but I might put the thing out saying she might be available. And then there's the Willowfield self-build meet and bring and buy sale, which obviously I can try to sell some bits and raise some funds. So that will help. Also, there's also the issue about if there is no cat. I don't want to kill Mischief off before it's happened, but the fear of me being without a cat and my mental health and survival in general will be very difficult if that happens. So I've had to prepare for that scenario as well. I've been told to just get a moggy to fill the gap until I can afford a Savannah. But the price of even little moggy cats is ridiculous. That may happen, but a moggy does not give me that 24/7 need to work so hard with them, and I need to have that pressure in a way to look after something like that to get me up, to get me doing something. If I just have a moggy that can come and go as it wants to, I won't get out of bed. I need to have something that relies on me, that needs to have all that, the walking, the things like that. So Savannah still works for me. So there are obviously pet breeders out there that are selling them, and I'll probably have to sort of raise the funds to buy one of them, which around like thousands of pounds. But I'd have to find, it'd be at the £500 bracket. And again, that's things I'm trying to sell or anything I fundraise for. Obviously, they probably think, why on earth can you spend that much on a cat and yet you can't feed yourself? Well, this is what keeps me alive. It's not about anything else. And if I can turn all my junk in my bungalow into another cat, then that's what I'll have to do. So I obviously wanted to have a higher F, a more wildcat Savannah, help take one out of a breeder's backyard breed or even a posh breeder, stop it going as a pet home. But obviously that I can't be in that scenario unless, one came my way, and it has to be a kitten for me to train it to lift my way. So it's actually, and even some pet savannas go for like around sort of £300, 3 to 5. So I would hope that's not too far out of my stretch, and I can get that. I am, once the vets and the cremation fees be paid, and thank you very much for the donations, by the way. We are nearly there. We're certainly over halfway. I think I probably got another 50 quid to go that I need. I think it's around that to pay for Bentleys. So that's just immense. Thank you very much for the donations there. Obviously, I haven't got the money for the memorial trip yet, the fuel for the memorial trip, and now North Yorkshire's about 70 mile away. So that's basically fuel-wise in Grace, it costs about the same there and back on how many miles it is. So if it's 70 miles away, it's about £70 fuel and probably a bit more with the hills and everything. So I need about £100 to sort of go up there and have, get myself sorted for that. But that's something I can obviously put my monthly fuel towards anyway. But not if I go down. Stratford. Now, affording the Van Life Fest, that was paid for out of my drum that I painted contribution. And the Overlander show, the Stratford show, I had, when I transferred my bank accounts, there was £150 transfer fee that suddenly pops up out of nowhere that I've just got now. So that's been put away for the Stratford upon Avon fuel. So that's a godsend. So getting me out and about, that's there. And I'm still budgeting for everything else. I'm still managing it. Obviously, all the little extra care packages and food and things like that are an extra to what I'm doing. And also, obviously, the cat food scenario has gone down drastically. So Mischief's been able to have some nicer food. She does have gut issues. So we've managed to get her some food that she loves, and she's on her better biscuits that she doesn't react to, and she's enjoying her meal. So she'll probably put on a lot more weight, because which probably make me think she's got her issues in her tummy, because she's her harness is getting tighter, and she's probably putting on weight regarding that, because she's suddenly eating so much after not eating. So at least she's having some lovely food, and she's doing her hunting, and she's in the country, and that's it. Obviously, I'd like to go other places, the park ups, but unless I pay for things like Willowfields and that, I can't. At the moment, I've not found any more park ups to get to. So if you know of any park ups similar to this that will get Grace in, has space for Mischief and I to walk, and have no restrictions on things, that's going to be easy to drive to, please let me know. I don't share a site, so if it's just a matter of finding somewhere else that is just surrounded by country that I can get to, so I can't drive anywhere unless I've got the park up to get to. Or even if you have your own backyard or a farm or something that you'd be willing to let us come on for like a week or so, then I'm not looking for a permanent site at all. I'm just looking for somewhere to go, and then I'll go back to the bungalow and catch up and then go somewhere else. It'd just be nice to actually have somewhere to help us make some memories with Mischief. I think that's enough waffles for now. So what was the conclusion to that? The conclusion to that is, yes, I don't want to keep Grace forever. I want to have a smaller vehicle. I need a smaller vehicle. But I will make do with Grace as long as she gets through the scenarios that she needs to, or stays roadworthy, or goes to the MOT if she doesn't go through the MOT, or if somebody comes along and says, I will buy her off you for the base vehicle and everything, so I can get my bits out and sell them to help raise funds for the next one, then yes, I'll let her go. But then I also need to find a minibus type high roof, mechanically sound, best we can vehicle. I know mechanically sounds going to be a bit more difficult, but I don't want something that's going to just sort of fall apart on me on the next month. I don't want to, again, start working on something that's so rusty underneath that, it's going to be no good for anything. So something with a year's MOT again, or 8 months, that at least I've got that time with them again to get me through this stage. And obviously I have to have a year out of having no money and things when that starts. So as long as I can sort of live in it while I'm on that budget, even if I just got to live in the back of a van and not worry about any facilities and things like that, and just chuck things in like a chair and that in the back, then I will do that. Because for this, during this very time where I've got, I have no funds in that, then I need to, and I'm not allowed to change that or go to work or anything like that, or even try. Not I could anyway, but you know what I mean. I need to have a vehicle. So again, if you've got something that you think would suit me, for when Grace is sold or whatever like that, then shout. So I am going right back to starting again, being debt free, but only having what I can afford, only working on whatever the next part of my journey is. And I've seen some little vans, little cars, and that I probably could cope with. Obviously, when I had my little Kangoo, I had the lube bucket in the back, I had the little camp stuff in the back, and the little bed and everything. But it is being a stand up and having a decent sleep out of it. That I suffered with that. I have a very bad back. I've got to be able to have that comfort, and even though I can make do with the single bed, I just need to make sure that I can have that space to stand up and spend a lot of time inside it. And obviously, if I can get my desk again, so I can carry on painting and my artwork and do things when it's like rain outside, and I can have that, do my vlogging and everything else, then all the better. So I think that's enough waffle. So my head's cleared quite a bit regarding all the scenarios of, Grace, the cats, how long I need to have Grace, and what's happening in the next few months. So until September, obviously we're just going to carry on and then see what happens then. So I will obviously see you all at Van Life Fest. I'll be in the Camp Creator YouTube section. After that, it'll be Willowfields, the Bring and Buy sale, for the self-build meet. That's the weekend after Van Life Fest, I believe. Then I come back from that and go straight up my memorial trip, go scatter the ashes and do some walking and cry and grieve and break down and do whatever I've got to do regarding that. Probably a month out, probably have the whole of August out up there, if I can survive. I mean, I'll get bored. And then back then from that straight to the Overlander. And like I said, I don't know where I am in that. And after the August, I'll know whether Grace can obviously get up to North Yorkshire, whether the roads and that are just too terrifying and things like that, and whether the hills, I'm just I know the hills are terrible there and I'm dreading it, but I've obviously got, like I say, Grace has got to see through these cats. It's Grace, gift from God. She was present to me for her purpose, and I'm going to see that through, however terrifying it is. And while I'm doing all that, I'll start looking at options and what's next, and what vehicle's going to be my next part of my journey, whether that be 1 month, 1 year, or lasts a while. I love the vintage stuff, by the way. I love vintage classic motorhomes, and I think they probably won't be able to cope with the sort of life I want, but if we end up even with a little old motorhome, then that's something that would be nice. I like things with character. I like to be different, whether it be weird, wonderful, or I just want something that's a cat vehicle. I can probably see me ending up with a big rusty old builder's van. Ford Transit rusty, chuck a mattress in the back and make do. But if that's what it is, if that's all I've got to do, then that's what I've got to do. I respect my situation I'm in. Yes, Grace, who's spent a lot of money on Grace and her bits and things, but I can take them out. I can take them out or sell them or use them. The more I think about letting her go, the more I want to keep her. But practically, I just don't want the stress of the driving. I really don't. And I'm obviously I need to get in the hills, and I probably will be going back up to Scotland or the lakes or whatever in the autumn winter. Autumn winter is when I do my walking and my time out, because I can't cope with the heat. So I need a vehicle that I can get through winter with, spend winter in. So I obviously need a heat in it and put a log burner in. That's something else. I'm going to pick up my log burner, and it's only a small one, narrow one, but I'd want a vehicle and put my log burner in, so I've got that emergency backup fuel as well. So yeah, it's got to fit a log burner and a diesel heater and a bed and a loo bucket and a kitchen space and a cat. Oh, and my inflatable canoe, which is a big space. So we've got to sort of put it. I'm not going. I need to be able to take my canoe with me to the lake, so I'm not going to leave that behind. So yeah, so it shows I need to have a van or a minibus size. I can't put it all in a little car anyway. So this is the things I've had to sort of write down this saying what do I need, whatever. Anyway, so whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Don't know how. I don't know. Whatever. So let's see what happens. As you can see, I'm a bit happier being out here. It's the medicine I needed. My mate phoned last night. My medicine man gave me some medicine, just cheer me up. And she's happy. And like I say, as long as she's happy, I'm in the country, then we'll survive. And I could be sat in here in the back of a car or Grace. It's about where I am, what I need for my mental health, for what boosts me, and as long as I take the cat, then I'm happy. And like I say, she can travel in a cage in the front seat of a vehicle quite easily or freely in the vehicle. I also want to have the access from the front to the back for my safety. That's obviously been an issue regarding Grace as well. The fact I can't get into the front, and the fact it takes so long to sort of get the lorry going and things to escape. And obviously the minibus idea is I had the window so I could see what's going on outside, and that helps me for safety as well. So anyway, that's enough waffle. I don't know whether that made sense or not. It looks like it's going to be another nice day here. It's been raining all night again, but again, I'm going to get a little bit of walking. I've got lots of things to do online, vlogging, reviewing, and I've got some drums to paint if I end up being really bored. Food, still got plenty of food at the moment. It's going to run out at some point. But yeah, I'm okay for now. Anyway, again, please put your thumb up. Please like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Comment, give your thoughts, feedback, anything like that. Things I might have not have thought about. Options, vehicle options and other things, where I can get things from, how do I do it, or I know I've been told that this vehicle, Grace, is even suitable for export. How does that happen? How do you get hold of people for that? And do they pay money for them, or all these sort of things? Are you interested? Anybody? Do you know anybody who's interested? Somebody who's desperate to get into van life, lorry life, and on a budget, and have a cheap vehicle with obviously everything so expensive. We know Grace goes. We know. Let me know. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.